The Indus Valley Civilization was a Bronze Age civilization in the northwestern regions of South Asia, lasting from 3300 BCE to 1300 BCE, and in its mature from 2600 BCE to 1900 BCE. Together with ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia, it was one of three early civilizations of Near East and South Asia, and of the three, the most widespread. Its sites spanning an area stretching from northeast Afghanistan through much of Pakistan and into western and northwestern India. It flourished in the basins of Indus River, which flows through the length of Pakistan, and along a system of perennial, mostly monsoon-fed rivers that once coursed in the vicinity of the seasonal Ghagar Hakra River in northwest India and eastern Pakistan. Thank you.
First modern accounts of the ruins of the Indus civilization are those of Charles Mason, a deserter from the East India Company's army. In 1826, Mason travelled to the princely state of Punjab, gathering useful intelligence for the company, returned for a promise of clemency. An aspect of this arrangement was the additional requirement to hand over to the company any historical artifacts acquired during his travels. Mason, who had versed himself in the classics, especially in the military campaigns of Alexander the Great, chose for his wandering some of the same towns that had featured in Alexander's campaigns and whose archaeological sites had been noted by the campaign's chroniclers. Mason's major archaeological discovery in the Punjab was Harappa, a metropolis of the Indus civilization in the valley of Indus tributary, the Ravi River. Mason made copious notes and illustrations of Harappa's rich historical artifacts, many lying half buried. In 1842, Mason included his observation of Harappa in the book Narrative of Various Journey in Burkistan, Afghanistan and the Punjab. He dated the Harappa ruins to a period of recorded history, erroneously mistaking it to have been described earlier during Alexander's campaign. Mason was impressed by the site's extraordinary size and by several large mounds formed from a long existing erosion. 2 years later, the company contracted Alexander Burns to sail up the Indus to assess the feasibility of water travel for its army. Burns, who also stopped in Harappa, noted the baked bricks employed in the site ancient masonry, but noted also the Hafsat plundering of these bricks by the local population. Despite these reports, Harappa was raided even more perilously for its bricks after the British annexation of the Punjab in 1848 to 1849. A considerable number were carted away as shad blast for the railway lines being laid in the Punjab. Nearly 160 kilometers of railway track between Multan and Lahore, laid in the mid-1850s, were supported.
Early Harappans. The early Harappans Ravi phase, named after the nearby Ravi River, lasted from c. 3300 BCE until 2800 BCE. It is related to the Hakkar phase, identified in the Ghungar Hakkar River valley to the west, and predated the Kota DG phrase, named after a site in northern Sindh, Pakistan near Mohenjo-daro. The earliest example of the Indus script date to the 3rd millennium BCE. The Mochau phase of earlier village culture is represented by Rahman Dhara and Amir in Pakistan. Kota DG represents the phrase leading up to Mocha Harappan, with the settled representing centralized authority and an increasingly urban quality of life. Another town of this stage was found in Kalibangan in India on the Hakkar River. trade network linked this culture with related region cultures and distant source of raw material including lapis lazuli and other materials for bread making. But this time villagers had domesticated numerous crops including peas, sesame seeds, dates, and cotton, as well as animals including the water buffalo. Early Harappans communicate turned to large urban central by 2600 BCE, from where the mature Harappan phase started. The latest research show that Indus Valley people migrate from villages.
According to Gosen et al., the slow southward of monsoon across the Asia innately allowed the Indus Valley villages to develop by tapping the floods of Indus and its tributaries. The floods supported farming, led to large agricultural surplus, which turn supported the development of cities. The 4C residents did not develop irrigation capabilities, relying on the development of advanced cities considered with reduction in rainfall, which may have triggered a reorganization into the larger urban centers. According to J.C. Shaffer and D.A. Liston, the mature Harappan civilization was a fusion of Bagar, Harakkan, Dotkalji traditions of ethnic groups in Dagar Halka Valley on borders of India and Pakistan. By 2600 BCE, early Harappan communities turned large urban centers. Such centers include Harappa, Grenivalo, Mohenjo-daro in modern-day Pakistan, and Zuhiwala, Kalibidan, Rakhigadan, Rupar, Lodan in modern-day India. In total, more than 1,000 cities and settlements have found, mainly in the general region of Indus and Ghagar Harka rivers and their tributaries. Thank you. The mature Harappan phase of the IVC is contemporary to the early and middle Bronze Age in Asian Near East. In particular, the Old Elamite period, early dynasty, the Akkadian Empire to Ur-III, Mesopotamia, Pre-Persian Minoan Crete, and Old Kingdom to the first intermediate period of Egypt. The IVC has been compared in particular with the civilizations of Elam and with Minoan Crete. The IVC has been tentatively identified with the Topuram Meluha known as Sumerian records. The Sumerian records called Meluhite. Shahri Shokta, located in southeastern Iran, show trade route with Mesopotamia. A number of seals with Indus Crete have been